Hello everybody, I'm so sorry about that moment where I've been silent. My mum was talking to someone on the phone, but it's fine, I'm back now. For qualifying, as it's a special wild card this weekend, it's going to be Inters for qualifying as Darren chucks it to P2 on the grid. We've never stopped with the fastest lap of a 31.5. Not a bad lap there, but Darren, shockingly, isn't too far off a pole. He's only had this game, how many days now? About nearly a week. And he's already back at his prime. But this should be an interesting qualifying as Goals is out now on his out lap. But can Darren's teammate produce anything good now? He's burning everything on the back straight now. DRS open. What lap is he going to be able to set, and is he going to be able to get a decent position on the grid? He's now brakes for the tight hairpin. Does sound like he is locking up, and he does have a little bit of a snap of oversteer. Alright, I can put that data on. Oh, there you go. As Goals now rounds the final corner to begin his lap. Into turn one he goes, braking just, I think, at the 150 board, rotating that car, coming round these tight, fast left right-handers now. Foot down on the floor. It is very difficult. Plus, with Inter, they are not as grippy as softs. So he is going to have to absolutely show confidence around that S section, as he does. Beautiful part there around that S section, as he is having massive, but not massive, but mini slides of oversteer, as he's a tenth down on his personal best. He is on the long straight, absolutely pushing it. He's burnt about half of his ERS already. Coming now to the end of the straight, drivers are getting out of the way. It was absolutely pandemonium about 5 minutes ago when everybody was out on that back straight. But here we go. He's coming around the very, very tight, tedious section now, getting real close with these barriers. Is he going to hit it? No, he doesn't. He gets real close, but not close enough to hit it. He's really pushing his limits here as he now comes onto the back straight of Miami. Is he going to be able, as he's 4/10 up on his personal best, now in the third sector. DRS is open, and he's going to think he's not close enough for the toe from Dean, but Dean will be starting his lap as well, so he now comes down to the hairpin. Absolutely rotates that car around, trying to get his foot down as early as possible, rounding the final corner now. Is it going to be P3? He gets bumped down. He's gone fastest by nearly 30 thousandths of a second, as Dean is now... Oh, Dean is not on his lap. It is Kobe. My mistake. Kobe is now out on his lap. And so is F1 Fan. Into turn one now with F1 Fan. F1 Fan is now P6. Hopefully he can get a qualifying, as his teammate has had a disqualification. I don't know why. The reason I know why was he was parked on track, but I don't know the reason behind why he was parked on track. Now the car showing absolute confidence around that S section. Now we're just waiting for the car to rotate on those intermediate tyres, trying to get his foot down as early as possible and trying his best not to let those wheels spin. He is 3.5 tenths up on the long straight now, as the DRS wing flap opens up, as he's going to make sure he can absolutely have a maximum speed, as he now is coming around the tight section that leads to the back straight, which is the second sector. How far up is he now? Has he gained or has he lost time? Absolutely pushing this car's limits, as that is yellow flags getting waved for other cars slowing down. He's 4.5 tenths up. This could be a massive improvement here. This could be the lap for provisional pole. But again, I'm not going to speak too early, as I think that was Dean giving him toe. As he now comes to the hairpin. What is this lap going to be? It's going to have to be a good lap here, as he rounds the final few corners now. Is it going to be provisional pole for F1 Fan? It's provisional pole by a good 10th. But Dean is now on his lap, just preparing now, going real slow, as he now is going to lob it out of the final corner now. Foot to the floor for Dean. He's going to absolutely send it now. One of the contenders for pole Here we go, as he now starts his lap. DRS open, braking out the 150 board, I think. Rotating for turn 1, now coming around to turn 2 and to turn 3. He's going to need lots of confidence now if he's going to have a single chance of pole here. It is going to need to be a absolutely perfect lap as he now chucks it around the S section of Miami. Again, needing lots of confidential car around here. It is going to need to take Dean a lot of time and patience to get his foot on the throttle as he now completes the first sector. He is 2/10 up. Again, he is now on for provisional pole, but can he keep it up? This could be the lap. Dean takes provisional pole with only 4 minutes and 35 seconds left. It could be anyone's lap here at Miami, and anyone could take it. As Never Stop chucks it into the 130s as he sets a 1 minute 30.902. Dean, I was wrong about Dean. Dean is going to have to really push his limits now. Is he going to be able to have the pace to take provisional pole away from Never Stop? He might just have it if he can gain a good 2/10 in this next sector now. It could be provisional pole for Dean. The DRS wing flaps open as we're now on board with Dean. Could it be Dean's lap here? Really low on fuel, as you can just see on the wheel, coming for the hairpin. He's got to get his foot down as early as possible here. Foot down for Dean. He's going to be burning everything now to the line. Is Dean going to be able to take provisional pole away from Never Stop? He does! By 2 whole tenths. This is getting very close now between these guys as Darren is out on an out lap now. It is getting very fine margins here for qualifying. But Darren could take pole away here from Dean. He has been showing a bit of confidence. But who knows? Last race, he was the driver that had the most amount of penalties. But this race, can he be the one with the less amount of penalties? Or if so, if he does get a penalty, how much? How many? And is it going to be enough or too little? But anyway, he begins his lap now, coming around the final corner now. It's foot to the floor for him. DRS wing flap opens up as Darren begins his lap into turn 1 now. That quick right-hander. You don't want to brake too early or too late there. Now, round the most dominant... Control, he spun! Darren has spun! He's gone sideways. That is going to cause a yellow flag in the first sector. Darren has bottled his lap already with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Kobe is now out on an out lap. His teammate Dean is on provisional pole. But can Dean keep provisional pole? F1 fan is out now. It is going to have to be very... Everyone, it seems to be coming out of the pits now. But Darren, he had a beautiful start to his lap, but he has just lost it out of that first sector. I think it was just wheel spin. I think his tyres were just that a little bit too warm as everyone but Never Stop is coming out of the pits now. This should be very interesting. For pole now. It is going to be a good fight for pole position around here today. As Dean in the pits now. I think Dean, as Never Stop, is coming out. As Dean retires. Dean thinks he's got what it takes to take provisional pole, but Never Stop is coming out. So every single one of these drivers out now are all fighting for pole. But can F1 fan take away pole position from Dean? Or can Never Stop take pole away from Dean? It is going to be very fine margins here with 1:40 to go. Anything can still happen. It is going to be very, very, very fine margins with all these drivers. F1 fan seems to be going slow to let his tyres cool down just before his lap begins. This should be very, very interesting. As he rounds the final corner now to begin his final flying lap of the weekend. Out of the final corner we go now. F1 fan, it's foot to the floor for him. Can F1 fan take away provisional pole from Dean as he now begins his lap? Into turn 1 we go now. That first right-hander. Again, he's taking it real slow and not getting his foot down too early or too late. Not wanting the wheel spin. He doesn't mess it up like how Darren has just messed it up on his attempt. Again, he's going to need lots of confidence here on board on the S section now. The actual confidence he has round here. He's just got so much confidence to flick that car around these corners. Beautiful and fine margins from him. It's foot down. Is he going to have an improvement? He's a 10th improving. He's going to need a lot of time here if he's going to get provisional pole. He currently is nowhere near. He'll need 7/10 to take away provisional pole. He might be able to do it though if he can produce a sensational lap. As he now rounding these very, very tight part of Miami. It is very fine margins. You can get very close, but too close and your tyre is off. Or you could get damage. As he goes real slow around here. As he gets his foot back down. Yellow flags in sector 2 for driver slowing down. He is 2.5 improving. I know, he's in the 3rd sector. What can F1 fan do as the clock strikes 0? Everyone is on a lap now. Who will take pole position? I think my prediction is Neverstop will be taking pole, but he rounds the final hairpin now. Foot down for the final corner. Is F1 fan gonna take provisional pole? I don't think he will. He improves to a 31.5. A 31.1, I mean. But what can Neverstop do? Neverstop is improving a little bit. And Neverstop has, I think, invalidated. Neverstop has aborted his lap. Can anyone deny Dean for pole position now? I don't think so. Goals is on a 10th improvement. He's going to be staying P4 as Darren has given up. But Kobe is down by a 10th. Can Kobe find time and beat Darren? It will be a miracle if he can. As Darren's teammate, Swally, has taken P7, but can Kobe find any more time? He is on a small improvement now. Can Kobe take and improve and take P5 away from Darren as it's foot to the floor around the final corners now? He hasn't taken it. Dean is on pole position for the Miami Grand Prix. What an absolute qualifying session from him. I will see you guys just before the main race. Hello everybody, I am back. Here we go though. I have just found out on the waiting as we're just waiting to go into the race. Darren has a 5-place grid penalty. I forgot to point that out as well. So Darren is last. So Kobe will be in the top 5. This should be a very, very interesting race moving forward. Drivers are just preparing now, and I don't think there is any rain due this race because it does look very sunny, but anything could still happen. It will be a very, very fine margins. As hopefully it's anyone's game today as long as they can strategize it out perfectly. But here we go. The 5 lights are on for the Miami Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. It seems to be a better stop there for Neverstop. But Dean is on the outside now. As Neverstop into the first corner, takes the lead. But Dean makes the switch back into the first corner, taking the lead away from Neverstop. As there's no drama already. It's been a clean first corner for everyone. As F1 fan takes P2 away from Neverstop. F1 fan is now P2 with Dean leading the Miami Grand Prix. A very, very hectic start there. Neverstop did just have a good start, but then he lost it. Kobe is up to P4, and Darren has made positions on the start as he is now fighting the McLaren of Goals. Can Darren get that position from Goals, or is Goals going to defend him off? Goals is fighting his teammate, and as we're going on board with Goals now. Goals, they are near side by side, but Goals is just not close enough. Is Goals going to go for a move? He goes for a move. He's going to go down the inside, but he's just not close enough. As Darren is on the inside, they're going to go side by side. Darren is on the hards here. He is going to have that less advantage on the grip. As Quillibin is 8th and last currently, but anything could happen as he does have contact with the barrier. As Dean leads the Grand Prix from F1 fan, Neverstop, Kobe, Swirly, Goals, Darren and Quillibin. It's going to be a very hectic race only on the first lap of 20 to go. Lots could happen as Dean locks up and F1 fan goes straight on. Oh! As does Kobe as well. F1 fan and Kobe both go straight on at the final corner. As Never Stop gets his position back, and Darren is in the top 3. It's been a hectic start already for these, as DRS has been enabled. But what has happened with these two? Oh my god. That was hectic, all I saw. As F1 fan gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, I'm guessing for track limits. I've never seen that happen. Contact with F1 fan and Kobe. I was not expecting that. But Never Stop is in. He is not in DRS range. I do not think on board now with Never Stop. Has Never Stop got the DRS? He does not. Dean leads then from Never Stop. But Never Stop does look to be saving, and he is trying to push for Darren. Dean. Less than 6/10 separate these two. It is going to be as he has gotten closer, as Kobe has started to make some moves up the grid. I have no clue what happened with him and F1 fan, but it seems to be they went side by side, and F1 fan Kobe locked up, as Kobe is carrying damage. That's not good for Kobe. He's going to have to box. But Never Stop now with the DRS. He's just not close enough to Dean on the first attempt. As they now round the final hairpin, these two are going to be fighting each other lap after lap. They are both on the same compound. Dean has the clean air, and Darren does as well, as Never Stop takes the fastest lap away from Dean with a 29.5. It's been a very, very hectic start with these guys. But wow. It's still anyone's game though with these two. We've seen these two fight in the past before. I think it was season 2 at Abu Dhabi. There was lots of drama on that final lap. But could these two recreate final lap dramas again today if they both don't mess up the strategy? Darren, as Ferrari a 3rd and 4th, and goals seems to be struggling as he's under pressure from Kobe and Darren's teammate Swally. But again, I think it's good. As Kobe and Goals have DRS on Darren's teammate Swally, as Goals are going to go down the outside of Swally now, but he's just not close enough. As Kobe does have a bit of contact. As Kobe is trying to fight here, and Kobe is having more contact with these drivers. He is carrying so much damage, and Kobe does just go straight on, as Kobe has a 3-second time penalty for just cutting the circuit. Little bro is not Max Verstappen. I get little bro's in a Mercedes, but he's not Max Verstappen. But again, Kobe is now on the back of Goals. But Swally, he has got the DRS. They are absolutely battling it out here. This is the fight for P4. Is Kobe going to go? And Kobe's pushed straight on. Kobe has had the exact problem at the hairpin again he seemed to have had with F1 fan. That's not good for Kobe. Kobe and F1 fan are the only drivers currently carrying penalties. But whilst all that's been happening, these two have been fighting it out for the lead. But again, Never Stop is just not close enough. Never Stop needs to be at least within 4/10 of Dean to have that advantage with the DRS. He's just falling back. These drivers are used to the inters. It's been absolutely hectic. Beefrisk is telling me, Beefrisk in the chat is telling me the drama of what has happened, because I am just special in my own ways. But God knows what could happen. These two are getting closer and closer each lap. It is gonna be very, very close. We're only on the 4th lap, as Swally and F1 fan are going at it now. Is it going to be the switchback? It is the switchback, but they're going to go side by side. As F1 fan fights ahead and takes the win, but they're going to be contact. Oh! F1 fan and Swally have contact at the most tightest part of Miami. That's not good. Wow. I'm surprised we've not had a virtual safety car for that. That was nasty. He has got massive front wing damage. This is one of the most hectic races I have commentated in a while. But Never Stop is less than a 10.5 to Dean now. Is he going to be able to get Dean? It's absolutely been hectic on the opening starts of this race. Absolute pandemonium with all these drivers. As Swally is in the pits now, getting a new front wing. I think he probably will be going hard to the end. Is that the only logical strategy? Squidward moves up to P7, which is going to give him the advantage. But what a hectic start it has been for all the drivers. But Osborne would never stop now. Is he going to launch an attack on Dean? He's just not close enough. He needs to just get that bit closer. But Dirty Air isn't going to help him as well. On board now is Never Stop going to be able to get it. Dean. Very, very fine margins with these two. Well, that's a new camera angle. Not seen that before. I'm daydreaming, shouldn't really. But on board now. I'm still on board as there is a yellow flag in the first sector. And just Swally again. What the hell has happened with him? He's having a really bad race today. I don't think he's gonna be happy after the race. But here we go though. Dean versus Never Stop now. Never Stop is on Dean's ass as they go onto the main straight. DRS. And Swally gets a 3-second time penalty. But into the first corner we go now. It's gonna be side by side. Never Stop takes the lead. He locks up and lets Dean through again. Dean getting the lead again. Never Stop. It just seems to be struggling to get that car to slow down. These two are just going at each other lap after lap. Never Stop is just having that struggles at turn 1. But again, he's also struggling as well. He isn't struggling with his ERS. Yeah, Never Stop does keep sending it too much. It is getting very... He just seems to be locking up. I think it's just the pressure. But again, Never Stop is a multiple Revline race winner here. Not at this circuit, but at multiple circuits. He gets closer and closer, but just not close enough. As F1 Fan is now in DRS range of goals, but he has the DRS, but he is not going to gain enough. As F1 Fan has only got 5% ERS battery, so it is going to be very close with these two. But again, it's very close with Never Stop and Dean. Can Never Stop get Dean now? He does activate his ERS before Dean, as we can see on the wheel. He does deactivate it. Where's the ERS? We're going to open up. He opens it now. He's activated the DRS. He's just, by the looks, saving his ERS because he's not wanting to burn it, but he's also, by the looks, not wanting to burn his tires out as he's just edging closer now. Edging that little bit closer to Dean. But can he get Dean? He's within 3.5 tenths of Dean now as they go onto the main straight. DRS open. Is he going to activate it? No, he doesn't. He just stays back and lets Dean have the lead. As Goals and F1 Fun are going at it again. These two, they're going to go side by side out of the final corner now. Leaving zero margin. These two are going to go absolute side by side. As he's going to hit F1 Fan. They have contact. But an F1 Fan does have the DRS. And they are still going side by side. They are not giving up. Neither of them. As F1 Fan by the looks does back off. And lets Goals back through. And it seems to be Darren is having a sensational race right now. Only 7 laps in and Darren is on for a podium right now. Let's hope Darren does not get boxed for full wets this race, because that would be hella hilarious on my end. But Never Stop his back. He's just, again, he gains and gains, but he's not gaining enough. But this is the fight we're looking out for right now. Goals versus F1 Fan. F1 Fan, he's going to get the DRS. He's going to burn his overtake. He's got nothing left. He's going to go around it. He's going to use the outer line. They're going to go side by side into the next corner now. Is F1 Fan going to try the old switcheroo? No, he doesn't. He holds around the inside. These two going side by side around the tight section. Last time this happened with F1 Fan, they had contact. Is it going to happen again? It doesn't. As F1 Fan somehow makes it work and gets ahead. They're still going side by side though. They are both having contact with the barriers, which has given Kobe a huge advantage here. These two are absolutely going at each other. As Goals gets the DRS and has made the move on F1 Fan once again. F1 Fan is just struggling with that ERS now. These two are literally going at each other, but this could give Kobe an advantage here. He is not too far back. Again, Never Stop and Dean are still going at it though. Only on lap 8 of 20. These two have still not boxed. I can put up the... Oh, that's telemetry. I'll put the whole map up so we can see where people are. That other guy deteriorated as well. But here we go though. Darren seems to be just cruising in the position as well. He's got a nice 11-second gap. But again, these two are still going at it. but he's just not getting close enough. But F1 Fan, he's got a bit more overtake this time. He's activating it a little bit earlier than last time. Now getting the DRS, activating it. Is he going to be able to make another successful move? These two have been going at each other for 3 laps now, I think. Is he going to try to go around the outside? Is he going to try the switcheroo? Oh no, he's going to stick it again. These two going side by side around the tight part of the track. Is F1 Fan going to get ahead? F1 Fan gets ahead. What a move from F1 Fan. Around the outside at the tightest part of the track. What a move. But Goals is going to have the DRS and he is in range. So this will give Goals on board now. He's got overtake to use. He hasn't got much overtake to use, but he's got a lot to use. He's going to make the move. F1 Fan's going to try to defend the outer line. He switches to the inner line. F1 Fan now defending the outer line. These two are going to go side by side around the final hairpin now. As Goals gets ahead, and they do have a bit more contact. As Dean and Never Stop are both in the box. And F1 Fan gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not good. Yeah, he is farming overtake season. As Darren, for the first time in his career in racing in Revline, is now leading the Miami Grand Prix. This will be absolutely amazing for Darren. He's got 10 seconds and he's been on those hard since the start of the race. I think Darren is trying to go and push those tyres as much as he can to the end. But Dean will be going. Frisk cheering Darren on now, hoping Darren can get this. We all believe Darren can get this. And Darren, by the looks, if Darren keeps this up, does have a possible chance of a podium. But Goals is closer to Never Stop. But Goals does still have to box. It's going to be very, very, very close. But Never Stop is going to have to try catch up to Dean again. And we're going to have... Once Never Stop, has caught up to Dean, we will have the battle of the Grand Prix. As these two will be going at each other lap after lap. And it will be a fight to the end. As if we go on board with Dean now, you can just see him in the distance. This race will be absolutely amazing. Once Never Stop, well, that's if Never Stop can catch up to Dean. But Darren as your race leader, Darren has the lead of the Miami Grand Prix, hoping he is not going to be having a bad time today. This is the best he's had since the last round. Koto wasn't too good for him after having the most amount of penalties, which was 15 seconds. This race, he's improving it by not having any at all. That is what he loves to hear and see. Which will be good as Goals and F1 Fan are both back in the pits. F1 Fan serving that 10... No, F1 Fan is not in the pit lane. It's Kobe. My bad. I'm tired today. F1 Fan is not far now behind Goals. F1 Fan's going to have to push with that 10-second time penalty. As Swirly, I think, gets ahead of Quillabin. But is Quillabin going to fight back? No, Quillabin cannot fight back. Quillabin has got front wing damage. And I don't think Williams have changed his front wing, which is not good for him. But will give Swirly a massive advantage here. But can Quillabin fight back, though? He's, by the looks, he's just struggling. Oh, he's having contact with the barriers. Not good on his end. Dean is cutting that gap down to Darren. But Darren does not have to worry. Darren Lee is still leading, which is a miracle for Darren. Let's hope I have not jinxed this for Darren. And he does not crash it, thanks to wheel spin. But we won't jinx it. Never Stop is starting now to gain closer on to Dean. He is 1.1 from Dean, and this will be amazing. I am back. I do thoroughly apologise. My throat did go for a moment. So I am back, and now the battle of Never Stopping Dean will be, by the looks, continuing. There's caution in Sector 3. Swally has gone off again, and he's been lapped by his teammate, and so is Quilibin. But Quilibin has spun. Oh! Quilibin has spun and lost his front wing. That will not be good for him. But F1 fan now with that 10-second time penalty and 22.4 second gap to Never Stop. That is a huge gap. But Darren did get a 3-second time penalty, and I did jinx it, and I'm so annoyed at myself. Oh, his teammate's just gone on. Oh, what the hell just happened with him? Well, Darren is still leading the Grand Prix, and Dean has cut that down. By the looks, Darren is going as long as he can, so he can just go on to the softs. Not a bad strategy on Darren's end, but then he's going to have the worry of goals again. But hopefully he won't have the worry of goals, because Darren has had a beautiful race so far. Rubbish qualifying, but his race has been phenomenal. But Dean is not too far away from him now. We can go on board with Darren, and we can just see him behind. This isn't Darren's worst nightmare right now. Darren is going to have to pray for a miracle here. Hopefully he can pray for a safety car, but it's very late for a safety car now. But God forbid a safety car could come out. But Dean is now in target range of Darren. So, can Darren hold up Dean? But no, he is going into the box, and he's not going to hold up, which will upset Never Stop, as Never Stop's one advantage has now gone. So Never Stop is going to have to physically push and catch up to Dean, and he's going to have to catch up to Dean. And I was right, Darren is now on the soft compound tyre. His team are doing a double stack after his horrible front wing. Horrible problem. But anyway, the fight still continues. By the looks, Dean might just cruise at home. As how is that a fast lap of a 9 seconds and 0.8? Swally has left the session. I don't know how someone can produce that, but I think that is the session's fastest lap. Let me check. If I'm able to. No, I can't check. Unless I can. Can I check? As that is the gap to all the cars. I think that, hold on. Let's get the gap to the leader. As people are now getting lapped, as it seems to be just Quilibin and I forgot to say the name now. Swally have been lapped, but Swally has been disconnected from the session. But it's been a massive gap, but it never stopped. Now, after all that yapping, I've just yapped. Is now in DRS range of Dean. The fight continues with 5 laps to go. It was just a visual glitch. Dean now takes the fastest lap of a 31.0. But the fight continues now. Dean versus Never Stop. 5 laps to go. Who is going to take the win here at Miami? Will it be Never Stop or will it be Dean? 2 skilled drivers and multiple Revline race winners are going to be going at each other now. So who is going to have the strategy to win? They are both on the most equal conditions possible now. It's just the setups that does not make this that equal, but it makes it equal to an extent. As Never Stop is now in DRS, he has got some spare ERS to use, so he will be using that in the process as well. As he's just now less than half a tenth. The battle we've all been waiting for is now back on, people. With 5 laps remaining. This is anyone's game still. As Darren is on. Darren is in P3. Darren has been having a beautiful race. So let's hope his race can continue up, and I've not jinxed it. But now, let's get back to these two. Never Stop versus Dean. These two have been going at each other for most of this race now, so it will be a miracle if it will be a miracle if Never Stop can get past Dean. But he is gaining, and he's gaining, and he's gaining. He's really close on this attempt. Out of the final hairpin we go. Quilibin gets another 3-second time penalty for track limits. Probably. But on the final corner now. He's going to be absolutely gaining. Is he going to be gaining on Dean? Into the first corner we go now. He's not close enough. 3.5 tenths separate these two. These two are the ones to be watching right now. They have gone at each other for most of this race, and it will be a miracle. Darren says the fastest lap, taking it away from Dean. 2 seconds quicker. 25.9. What a lap from Darren on those softs. He's really trying to catch here, but with only 4 laps remaining now, I don't think it will be possible for Darren to catch. Even if he does, he's got to pull that time penalty away. But the stress continues on from Dean. Can never stop pressure Dean enough. I don't think, but Dean, by the looks, does not seem to be showing any signs of pressure. He seems to just be showing a chill, composed self, as we do have a yellow flag. And I do think that was someone going slow. I think we did have someone have a moment. I think Goals has had a moment. But here we go, though. Never Stop is burning, and Never Stop is now trying to catch Dean with the DRS and his ERS. I think he does have his ERS on hot lap. He is edging and edging and edging close to 3.5 tenths. But he's just not close enough around the final hairpin now. 5 tenths separate these two. But will this 5 tenths be enough? Never Stop is going to have to pray for a miracle here. But Dean cracks under pressure. Oh, Dean cracks under pressure and spins. It's going to need a miracle for Never Stop to win. Because Dean, after all my experience with Dean, is the absolute Mexican Minister of Defense. Even though he's Dutch. It's the Dutch versus the Dutch. No matter what happens here today, we will be hearing the Dutch national anthem. But it's going to be for who? Dean or Never Stop? Never Stop will be trying again. Never Stop is just trying as well. But as well with Never Stop, he has got the dirty air from Dean, which will be making his tyres run down even more and even worse. Dean has got that fresh air, and so does Darren with that massive gap of 13 seconds. He is getting closer, but again, he's not close enough. He is just going to need to pray that something happens with Dean. But by the look, nothing will be happening with Dean, as these two going around the tightest part of Miami now. Again, it's lap after lap, attempt after attempt. Never Stop is just getting closer and closer, but not too close out of the tight section now. No, on board with Never Stop. Never Stop seems to have more ERS on this attempt, and he is, by the looks, burning it. But Dean is defending now. He is not defending, he is saving. It seems to be Dean has been burning, as Dean has got less ERS than Never Stop. So Never Stop can push as much as he needs now. It's going to be, as a miracle I said was going to be needed. But the miracle might be here. Dean is running real low here, so Dean is going to have to really pray he can get some ERS. So as we begin the penultimate lap now, Dean still leads from Never Stop. It has been a sensational fight between these two drivers today. From the Dutch, it has been amazing to see these two going at each other, but Never Stop seems to, by the looks, have just gone and he's backed off. But Dean has got a bit more ERS now. So it will be good for Dean. Well, it won't be good for Dean. It'll be good for Never Stop. But again, Never Stop is getting closer. Never Stop seems to be being slow at the S section, but he's got lots of power on the straights. Or by the looks, Never Stop is waiting for a last lap attack. He's going to be attacking Dean on the final lap. But again, Dean is going to have to pray for a miracle and save his ERS up so that doesn't happen. But these two have been going at each other all race now as they'll be going around this part of the track once more, as Never Stop is going to have another attempt on Dean. Again, he doesn't seem to want to pressure Dean too much, but again, he doesn't want to stay too far away from Dean. He wants to be close to Dean. And by the looks, he has been wanting to keep the DRS for most of this race, which he has. He's successfully done. But if Never Stop gets this win now, it's going to have to be this lap now, as Dean and Never Stop round the final corner now to begin the final lap of the Miami Grand Prix. Dean is going to have to defend with all of his might here. Never Stop has got more ERS than Dean, as on board with Dean now, we can just see Never Stop on the gearbox. This will have to be a miracle for Dean. Dean hasn't got much ERS left. but Never Stop has got all the ERS in the world. It is been a sensational fight between these two today. But on board now will Never Stop. He's going to have to edge closer to Dean if he's going to have a chance. He's got more ERS. He will be burning everything this lap and pushing his car's limits as Dean does tap the barrier. Unless that is just a visual glitch for us or something. But Never Stop is pushing now. You can see him gaining on Dean. These two have been going at each other. He's trying to launch an attack. He's just not close enough. Dean is going to have to pray for a miracle right now. As I've said multiple times, a miracle is going to have to be needed here for Never Stop. But a miracle might have come. Dean does have a bit of ERS left, but Never Stop is on his gearbox. We have seen this happen all race, and we have seen Never Stop trying to catch Dean. On board with Never Stop now. I was right. He's trying to get Dean. Dean is out of ERS. As Never Stop, he's going to try and launch an attack now at the hairpin. Never Stop. They're going to go side by side at the hairpin. As Never Stop, can Never Stop take this win away from Dean? Around the final few corners now, Never Stop wins the Miami Grand Prix with Dean in second. What a last lap fight for these two. As Darren takes home P3 and his first Revline podium in his career in this league. Well done, Darren. And you haven't got multiple penalties. As this time, F1 fan could have got a podium today, but he just didn't have a good race after hearing that contact with Kobe. He will come home to take P4. I don't think he ought to be taking P4 because of that time penalty. But he might have it. No, he hasn't. Gold takes P4 away from F1 fan. As Kobe takes home P6, could have been in P7 without a front wing. It's been a superb race from these two. Your race winner, Never Stop, has fought Dean this race and has succeeded in this win. Well done, Never Stop. As it will be in the Red Bull garage. Celebrations for the Red Bull team. And I don't think Mercedes are going to be too happy with that last lap. But again, it happens. As your race lead, as that is your race winner, Never Stop. With Dean in second and Darren in third as the podium begins. It's been a sensational race from these drivers today, and it's been a sensational fight from Never Stop and Never Stop and Dean. But we will see you again next week. As I think, let's check what next week's round is. But your race winner, Never Stop, fastest lap for Darren, which was a 1 minute 29.1. Most overtakes was Darren, and Dean got the cleanest driver. But that's it for now, as we will see you guys next weekend for Japan, which will be a sprint weekend, so we get an extra race on top. But for now, goodbye.